the Natatorium here in the Tulane University's Reily Student Recreation Center, beginning the 3-meter diving competition. Up first is Anne-Marie Kenny for Tulane. Started off there with a forward 2.5 somersault. Scores were 6.5, 5.5. Taylor Olhauser's next up in the dive order. Same dive here. Scores 7 and 7.5. Third diver is Gabrielle Hebert from Tulane. We're going to see the same dive action from the first 4 divers. Forward 2.5 in the pike position. Both judges gave her a 5.5. Had a little trouble getting straightened out, it looked like, on the entry there. Nicole Stambo from SMU, the 4th diver. Again, this is the forward 2.5 in the pike position. A little bit of an over rotation. But good score, 7 and 6. Katie Crown up next. Katie's going to be performing an inward 1.5 somersault in the pike position. Nice dive, not a lot of splash there. 6.5 and 7.5 were the scores. Final diver, also from SMU, Joanna Holloway. And Joanna will also perform forward 2.5 in the pike position. Nice dive by Holloway. Scores were 7 and 7.5, so SMU with a nice first round there. Little we know that SMU has a strong diving program and some returning members there. Tulane has Anne-Marie Kenny, of course, returning, who you know pretty well, and Gabrielle Hebert, a freshman. So just 2 divers for Tulane.
Definitely a little bit of a rebuilding year for Tulane.
Yeah, definitely under first-year coach John Sermon, as we said. Going to do a back 2.5 somersault. This is going to be in the tuck position. Nice look at the divers there as they go off the board. Scores were 6.5 and 7. So just 2 judges scoring, and those are actually the coaches. Gabrielle Hebert, Tulane's 2nd diver here. Performing a back 1.5 somersault with 1.5 twists. And that was in the pike position. Both coaches gave her a 6 on that one. Nicole Stambo up next. She's going to be performing forward 2.5 somersault with 1 full twist. Big splash there, but pretty good dive. 5.5 by both judges. Katie Crown up next. This is an inward 2.5 somersault in the tuck position. Really nice, not very much splash at all there. 6.5 and 7.5 the scores. Final dive of the 2nd round. Joanna Holloway performing a back 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twists. She's going to perform a back 1.5 somersault in the pike position. Both judges are 4.5. That's the lowest score we saw so far. A little bit of over rotation, big splash there. Reverse dive there. 6.5 from both judges. Gabby Hubert's going to perform an inward 2.5 in the tuck position. It's a good degree of difficulty dive for Gabby here. I saw there she really didn't get all the way around, straighten out, and the scores were 2 and 3.
Talking to some of the divers, they said that they like to begin their program with some of their more basic dives and move into their harder dives. So that could be what we're seeing here, is them moving into the harder part of their program.
And we're 1.5 there in the pike position. And Nicole Stambo, 6.5 and 7 were the scores. Kate Crown up next. This will be a back dive in the pike position. Well, that was a beautiful 6.5. Surprised by the second score there. Holloway finishing up the third round here. Performing the back 2.5 somersault. This is in the tuck position.
Scores 6.5 and 7.
6.5 and 7 were the scores. Back to the top of the order for round 4. Anne-Marie Kenny. Reverse 1.5 somersault. This will be in the pike position. That's a pretty good dive there. And 6.5 from both judges.
From SMU, performing a 52-33D, Taylor Olhauser.
Taylor Olhauser going to perform a back 1.5 somersault with 1.5 twists. This is the only back twisting dive we'll see from the divers on the 3 meter. Several of the divers performing this.
Scores 6 and 6.
Both judges gave her a 6.
From Tulane, performing a 203D, Gabby Hebert.
Gabby Hebert's next, back 1.5 somersault. This is in the pike position. Under rotation, didn't get all the way around there. 4.5 and 5 were the scores.
Performing a 53-35D, Nicole Stambo.
Nicole Stambo going to perform a reverse 1.5 with 2.5 twists. The degree of difficulty here is 3.0. That'll be a fail dive.
Incorrect dive.
So SMU has consistently scored higher than Tulane so far, but that will give Tulane a chance maybe. Sneak back up in here. Katie Crown going to perform, see, this is a reverse dive in the pike position. Katie's a really good diver. She in fact was the 1 meter American Athletic Conference champion last year. Both scores were 7. Joanna Holloway to complete round 4. Same dive, reverse in the pike position. See another nice dive there by SMU, but not quite as close to the board as Katie Crown was. So the scores were 6. Anne-Marie Kenny from Tulane to start off round 5.
Anne-Marie Kenny.
High degree of difficulty dive here for Anne-Marie. Reverse 1.5 with 1.5 twists. Both judges give her a 6.
From SMU performing a 403. Scores 7 1/2 and 7 1/2.
Both judges give her a 7.5. Nice dive there. Gabby Hebert from Tulane. Up next with a back 1.5 somersault. In the actually, no mistake, reverse 1.5. And it was in the pike position.
Scores 4 1/2 and 5.
4.5 and 5 from the judges.
Performing a 301B, Nicole Sambo.
Nicole Stambo. Reverse dive, pike position. Saw both of her teammates perform this dive already. Really demonstrate the technical aspects of your diving with these lower degree of difficulty dives. Both judges give her a 6. Easier to get higher scores, but the lower degree of difficulty results in a lower total score. Kate Crown forward 2.5 in the pike position. Nice quick rotation. Clean entry.
6 1/2 and 5 1/2.
6.5 and 5.5. A little bit of a splash, and I think she had a hard time getting all the way straight. And the last dive in round 5, Joanna Holloway from SMU. An inward 1.5 in the pike position. Good dive there, very little splash. And both judges. A little bit of over rotation there, but good dive by Anne-Marie.
6 1/2 and 6.
6 and 6.5 the scores from the judges.
A 405C, Taylor Olhauser.
Taylor Olhauser's final dive on the 3 meter. Be an inward 2.5 somersault in the tuck position. Nice quick rotation. Amazes me really every time with those quick rotation that they can really stop the rotation, go in straight, and 7s from the judges.
They definitely use a lot of control of their body and using their core. And
Gabby Hebert from Tulane, her final dive. Nice dive there by Gabby. 4 1.5 with 2 step twists. 6 and 6.5 from the judges. Nicole Stambo's final dive. Going to be a back 2.5 in the pike position. 3.2 degree of difficulty on this. Highest degree of difficulty for her in her 3 meter routine. Kicked out a little too early there. 6.5 from both judges. And the final dive of the 3 meter competition, Joanna Holloway. This is an inward 2.5 somersault. She's going to do it in the tuck position. Nice dive. Kept it close to the board. 7.5 and 7 the scores. So we'll take a quick break as they reset the pool. with the lane ropes and get ready for our first swimming event, and hopefully we'll have the results of the diving competition for you when we return. You're watching Tulane Swim and Dive on Tulane All Access. Looks like the lane ropes are set, and so they'll turn it over to the head starter, I believe, and we'll see the swimmers in the pool soon. Yep, there's the whistle. So as you're looking at the pool from this angle, you see that's lane 6 in the near ground, and then 5, 4, and 3 is at the top of your screen.
So Tulane has a senior in the I relay and a freshman in the B, so you might be seeing the future of the I relay and the B relay swimming backstroke right now. Underwaters are very important in the sprint backstroke, so that's also something to look for.
Well, it looks like both teams had their B relay team get to the wall first at the end of the back leg.
Kate McDonald is very good at taking out her individual races fast, so that should pay off in this 50.
Kate McDonald, of course, the top breaststroke. First to the wall after 2 legs. Butterfly swimmers are in the water now. Top 100 and 200 times in the conference this year belong to Erin Trahan from SMU. She's in lane 5, but she's got a little bit of catching up to do.
Tulane's flyers are both freshmen, showing another area where freshmen have really stepped up.
Actually, Trahan was swimming with the B squad in lane 3 for SMU, and that's why they took the lead there. Here we come to the finish. In the lead is SMU in lane 3, followed by Tulane in lane 4. And that's how they'll finish. Got an unofficial time there on your screen. Official time of 1:44.45 for SMU, and Tulane about 2 seconds behind, 1:46.77. They take second in the medley relay. The next event is going to be the 1,000-yard freestyle. Top time in the conference this year belongs to Tulane freshman Lilly Byrne. Shares the same name as you, my friend, Lily Morgan.
Yes, she does. Looks like they replaced me quick.
There you go. Of course, that distance free wasn't your specialty, but Lily is going to look forward to probably a good finish for Tulane in the conference championships. And expect for her to do well in this event. Senior Olivia Johnson also has the 3rd fastest time in the conference this year. Olivia will be in lane 6. Don't see Lilly Byrne on the heat sheet, actually, so it's Noah Herron who's in lane 4.
Mixing it around, probably allowing Lilly to swim some other individual events, since you're only allowed to swim a dual 3 individual.
Really quick meet, of course, and
Or 2 individuals, I'm sorry.
this, of course, the longest event on the program today, so we'll have time to talk a little bit more about the swimmers than we normally would. In fact, I'll go ahead and give you a rundown of all the swimmers from the top of your screen to the bottom. In lane 2 for Tulane, Edie Newman. In lane 3 from SMU, Frederica Kizek. In lane 4 from Tulane, Noah Herron. In lane 5 from SMU, Annabelle Corcoran. In lane 6 from Tulane, Olivia Johnson. In lane 7 from SMU, Lauren Thompson. And on the bottom of your screen from Tulane, Ellie Vincent. Ellie, another one of those freshmen for Tulane.
Tulane has had a very strong distance group throughout my whole time here, and it seems to have continued this year with Olivia and Noah, and also Lilly having very strong showings this season. And that always gets the individual races started off with a bang for Tulane.
How many laps is this for
40.
1,000? 40 laps. There and back 20 times, yeah?
Mm-hmm. When I was younger, before I swam my first mile, I looked up at the clock at class, and I was timing how long it was going to take. And it is kind of amazing how long the distance swimmers are actually in the pool and how strong their endurance is that they can hold that pace for so long.
Yeah, about 15 minutes for the 1650.
This one should...
Yeah, top time in the conference this year is 10 minutes and 8 seconds. That's Lilly Byrne, of course, who isn't in the pool today. The key to these distance events, of course, is conserving your kick until the very end. You see just a very slight, easy two-beat kick for the swimmers. If I know my swimming terminology right, Lily?
Yes. They normally try to keep up probably a 6-beat kick during the race, and then they'll kick it in even harder towards the end of the race. But this is something they work on day in and day out, is holding that pace for 50s and 100s and even 500s to be able to work up to going their goal times in these races. And this is the shorter version of the distance event. They save the mile for conference normally, and a dual meets they normally swim 1,000.
Looking at the current leader there, that's lane 6. Olivia Johnson. No surprise to see one of the seniors leading the way.
Olivia has had a very strong career at Tulane, and I expect her senior meet to be no different, for sure.
Right at 5 minutes at the halfway mark. 500 yards of 1,000 completed by Olivia Johnson. This is one of the events that we do expect Tulane to perform well in.
Absolutely.
As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, it might be a difficult task for Tulane to win 3 in a row here against SMU, but this is certainly an event they will perform better in.
Yes, we have the returning champion of the mile at conference, and SMU's highest finisher last year at conference was a senior. So they have a freshman stepping in, looks like, as their leader in this event.
That's right, Olivia Johnson, the 2019 American Conference champion in the 1650. She also has the top time in the conference in the 400 IM this year, which we won't see in today's program, but shows the strength and versatility of Olivia.
Absolutely.
She might be on her way to lapping the swimmer in the lane below her in lane 7. That's closer to you on your screen. Still about a 1 minute pace per 100.
Yeah, as a sprinter, I was always amazed to see what they were able to do. Even in practice, they'll swim 30 100s and try to hold that 1 minute pace. And then to see them put it into play at a meet is pretty cool to watch.
SMU's top swimmer in the 1,000 this year is Federica Kizek. She's in lane 3 today. .800 yards completed.
It's looking like both Olivia and Noah are on pace to go faster than their season best.
Yeah, if they can maintain that pace over that last 100. 4 laps left.
This is where they find that extra gear.
The bell lap, although it's a whistle here. I'm used to hearing the bell when I was swimming.
Absolutely.
One more time down and back for Olivia Johnson, and she'll take home first place in the 1,000-yard freestyle. She's lapped several swimmers. And there she is into the wall with a time of 10:03.80. Official time. It's unofficial, you see on the screen. 10:03.80, the official time. Good finish for Olivia Johnson, and Noah Heron finishes in second place, 10:13.43.
That's a 10-second best for the season for Olivia and a 6-second best for Noah.
Good first swim for the Green Wave. The next event will be the 200-yard freestyle. Go ahead and give you the lane assignments. In lane 2 from Tulane, Sammy Morton. In lane 3 from SMU, Olivia Grossgloss. In lane 4 from Tulane, Isa Pelka. In lane 5 for SMU, Janelle Gersey. In lane 6 from Tulane, Lilly Byrne, the freshman who we've talked about a bit. And in lane 7 from SMU, Alex Stevens. The swimmers are...
This is another race where Tulane is looking to replace its top performer from last year in senior Shelly Zelnick.
In lane 6 from Tulane, Lilly Byrne. And in lane 7 from SMU, Alex Stevens.
Lilly Byrne from Tulane, first into the wall after the first 50. This is 8 lengths of the pool, 4 times down and back.
The 200 is an interesting race since it is a longer race, but you really have to treat it more like a sprint.
Yeah, maybe you hold back on the first 50, but if you're not sprinting the last 100, that's for sure. So somewhere in between.
Making sure that speed feels easy on the first 50, and then build into the rest of the race.
Byrne continued to lead after 100 yards. She's got about half a body length lead over her teammate Pelka and Janelle Gersey from SMU.
The third 50 is when you have to make that conscious effort to keep your foot on the pedal, because that can kind of be where you can kind of fall off right before that last 50.
Well, she's into the final turn first. She's headed for home. And she will take first place with a time of 1:52.48. And second place from SMU, Janelle Gersey, 1:53.79. And Isa Pelka from Tulane in third place in lane 4, 1:55.95.
That's a season best for Isa, and just a little bit off what Lilly went at midseason.
Finishing third in lane 4 from Tulane, Isa Pelka. Finishing second.
Next event
In lane 5
will be the 100-yard backstroke. Now that's something you are familiar with, Lilly.
I am. That was one of my events for sure.
The next event, the 100-yard backstroke.
We'll have all 8 lanes filled here for the 100 back. Top swimmer for Tulane in lane number 4, Ashley Carollo. And for SMU in lane 5, Kylie Vanderveer. Felicia Anderson of SMU is in lane. She's actually got some of the top times in the 100 and 200 back this year in the conference. She was named the American Athletic Swimmer of the Week, January 17th. So look for Anderson in lane 3.
Stroke.
Yeah, you can almost go the whole first length of the pool underwater. Unfortunately, we don't have the underwater camera to bring you that action. We did last year at Tulane's home meet, but with a full pool this year and no extra lane on either side. Just no room to get those underwater cameras in there.
This race is all about tempo, turns, and underwaters.
Lane 6 from Tulane, Claire Gobo. Lane 7 from SMU, Hannah Velasco. And in lane 8
And we have the freshman in the fastest lane, lane 4, but Claire Golba, the senior, has also really made strides this season.
Well, no surprise. Alicia Anderson in lane 3 from SMU comes in first with a time of 56.19. Coming in second from Tulane was Ashley Carollo, 58.18. And in third place also from Tulane with a time of 58.22, Claire Golba, the senior he mentioned. So Tulane did a good job of getting second and third place there.
That was always something we emphasized. If you were going to have the other team win, you really had to fill in those next couple of spots in order to make up the points.
Next up, the 100-yard breaststroke. Kate McDonald from Tulane, who's one of the best breaststrokers, I guess, in Tulane history.
Yes.
She a junior?
Yes.
Junior, so she's still got one more year. And
yeah, she stepped up when she came in and really filled a void in our breaststroke group. It looks like SMU is without their last year's conference champion breaststroker.
It's another event Tulane expects to excel at and, of course, win. Kate McDonald was ahead after 50 yards and makes the final turn with the lead in lane 4. Body length and a half lead, and the victory for Kate McDonald, a time of 1:03.28.
Just a little bit off of what she went at midseason. That's a very good swim for her.
5 swimmers came in with a time of third. In lane 3, it was Gabby Grobler, and in lane 5, Elise Johnson. So kind of the opposite of what we saw in the 100 back. One school got the win, and the other school got second and third. Now moving on to the 200-yard butterfly. We'll see senior Jordan Morling from Tulane in lane 6.
And then 3 freshmen.
As you mentioned, you can only swim a limited number of events per meet, so we won't see the top butterfly swimmer in the conference this year. That's Erin Trahan. She was the champion of that event at conference last year.
The fly group at Tulane has really benefited from the incoming freshmen. That was a stroke that we were thin in last year, and it's been good to see that they've added depth in that area.
Olivia Grossklaus from SMU in lane 3 was first at the 50 split.
She was the runner-up at conference in 2019. Something to look for as well is the way that Jordan Morling swims her race. She really comes on strong in the back half, so we could see her make up some ground there.
Yeah, an experienced senior. Knows how to put her race strategy together. In lane 2 from Tulane, another one of those freshmen, Kate Amar. She's had a good 100 split there. We'll see if she can hold on to it. She's swimming neck for neck, as you see in your screen there with Grossklaus from SMU. Grossklaus about a body length ahead now, though, as they go into the final turn. Morling in lane 6 is in 3rd place. Grossklaus looks like she still has about a half body length lead as they head for home. Kate Amar right behind her in 2nd place.
This race is all about the details.
Absolutely. We will see here Erin Trahan from SMU. She's in lane 3. In lane 4 for Tulane, Courtney Barker. In lane 5 from SMU, Samantha Smith. In lane 6 for Tulane, Drew Petterite. Don't blink, they'll be down and back. 25 seconds or less. Let's see if we see any 22s or the elusive 21.
It'll be a tough one. This race, the focus really is underwaters, breakouts, turns, your tempo, where you're breathing. All of those little things add up.
Good swim there in lane 4 for Tulane. Courtney Barker takes the win. 24:02 her time officially. And right behind her, Erin Trahan, 24-12.
Courtney's really having a great season after not doing as well as she would have liked last year. She's really, really shown some improvement and is having a great season this year.
A good season culminates with a win here in the final home meet. If she does well at conference, Drew Petterite got third place for Tulane. So Tulane with the first and third place. Erin Trahan from SMU with second in between. And welcome back from the Natatorium here at the Reily Student Recreation Center, getting set for the 1 meter springboard competition. Again, Tulane with 2 divers and SMU with 4 in the competition. Each diver does 6 dives, so there'll be 6 rounds, 5 mandatory dives. So we'll see a lot of repetition as each diver performs those. Just 1 optional dive the divers get to choose. Divers just finishing up their practice dives here. All 4 of the SMU divers have already qualified for NCAA zonal competition in both the 1 and 3 meters. So this earlier that Tulane is kind of rebuilding. Only 2 divers and just 1 returning diver, Anne-Marie Kenny, in the program this year. But Coach John Sermon already has some players, some divers committed to come in next year, and he'll get to fill that roster out.
Yes, consistency has been a little bit of a struggle for this program, but Anne-Marie has been forced into this kind of leadership role. But we've seen Anne-Marie really step into that leadership role since she's been the only returner.
And just a sophomore, so she'll be able to build upon that role over the next couple of seasons. It's good to be able to build those leadership roles early. You know, when I coached a little bit of swimming, but I turned into a volleyball player and coach in the later years. So I coached a lot of team sports, and I used to tell everyone on the team, Lily, that everyone is a captain. You have to at least be the captain of yourself. And so leadership is something that really needs to be emphasized and taught to every member of a program. I mean, make sure you bring all your equipment. Don't forget your goggles and your swimsuit, right? You know, worst thing is when you show up to the pool and you have to borrow a swimsuit from a teammate.
Whether or not you're actually the team captain, there's always something that you can add that is your own form of leadership, whether that's you're the vocal leader or you're just keeping on top of every responsibility that you have and coming in and doing your job every day. There's always something that you can add and be a leader in.
Yeah, some people are sort of spirit leaders, some people are organizational leaders, some people are performance leaders.
Yeah,
and maybe speak, they let their performance
lead by
speak
example. Yeah. Should be interesting with this kind of relative fresh start that they have to see how the diving team does grow and get stronger.
So I believe we just got word that Joanna Holloway from SMU is going to be scratched from the 1 meter competition that we're about to see. So SMU will just have 3 divers. Tulane will have 2. The order will be Gabby Hebert from Tulane, then Katie Crown from SMU, the reigning American Athletic Conference 1 meter champion. And then from Tulane, Anne-Marie Kenny. 4th will be Nicole Stambo, and 5th, Taylor Olhauser, both of those divers. I know some of our regular Green Wave fans are used to the work they do in all the sports here around campus. They're in the midst of basketball season, getting ready for baseball season, getting all that geared up.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the 1 meter diving competition.
And we're set to go for the 1 meter competition. First up, Gabby Hebert. And she'll be performing inward 1.5 somersault in the tuck position. Any hardcore diving fans at home might have Noticed I tried to throw in the degree of difficulty a couple times during the 3-meter competition. Nice dive by Gabby to start, and I think I was given the 1-meter degree of difficulty during the 3-meter competition, so my mistake and my apologies to folks out there. Scores of 6 for Gabby on her first dive. Next up, Katie Crown. So back 1.5 somersault with 1.5 twists. Degree of difficulty 2.5. I'm sure I'm looking at the right table now.
Scores 6 and 6.
Both judges give the score of 6 to Crown. Again, the coaches serve as the judges here, so coach from each team and just 2 judges for the competition. Anne-Marie Kenny's first dive on the 1-meter.
That's a little difference between a dual meet and a conference meet for the divers, is that there's only 2 judges in a dual meet, but they'll have many more at conference.
Yeah, normally they take 3 judges' scores, add them, and multiply it by the degree of difficulty here.
Yes.
So they're 1 judge short, and to get a full score here, they'll multiply their final score by 1.5.
Yes, in this situation, all they do is add the coaches' scores and multiply, but at conference, they'll take all the judges, and then they'll throw out the highest and the lowest scores, and then add the remaining judges' score
Yeah,
and
I'll
multiply.
have 5 judges and take the middle 3. That was Nicole Stambo from SMU. And there was Taylor Olhauser to finish up the first round. 6 and 6.5 were the scores on that dive. A forward 1.5 with 1 twist. Top of the order for the second round. Things are going quick here. 6 and 6.5 for the forward 1.5 with 1 twist for Gabby Hebert. Katie Crown with a back 1.5 somersault. This will be in the pike position. Degree of difficulty here is 2.3. Didn't really get all the way around before she kicked out, but really kept a low splash there. So 6.5 and 7 were the scores. Anne-Marie Kenny up next. 0.6. Getting straightened out all the way, and maybe not the height she wanted, so she was a little far from the board when she came in. 5.5 from both judges. Nicole Stambo now from SMU will see the same dive. Forward 2.5 somersault in the pike position.
Scores 6 and 6.5.
6 and 6.5 from the judges.
From SMU, performing a 105C,
Taylor Olhauser, final diver in round 2. This will be the same dive, but in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty a little bit lower, 2.4. A little bit of over rotation there from Taylor, but good scores, 6.5 and 6 for Olhauser. That's the end of round 2. Back to the top of the order. Gabby Hebert starts off round 3. And we'll see that same dive. 2.5 in the tuck position.
Scores 6 and 6.
6 from both judges. Katie Crown going to perform a reverse 1.5 in the pike position. Degree of difficulty 2.4.
Scores 5.5 and 5.5.
5.5 from both judges. Not Katie's best dive. Over rotated a little bit. Anne-Marie Kenny up next. An inward 1.5. This is in the tuck position. Good dive. Looked like she was still rotating as she went in. 6 and 5 were the scores for Anne-Marie. Nicole Stanbo up next.
6 and 5 1/2. Thank you. Next diver from SMU, performing a 52-33D.
This will be a back 1.5 somersault with 1.5 twists. Degree of difficulty here, 2.5.
Scores 7 and 6 and 1/2.
7 and 6.5 were the scores. Final dive of round 3, Taylor Olhauser. This is a back 1.5 in the pike position, degree of difficulty 2.3.
Scores 6 and 1/2 and 7.
6.5 and 7 the scores for Olhauser. Round 4, Gabby Hebert starts us off. Back 1.5 in the tuck position. 2.4 degree of difficulty. Like she over-rotated it. It was a little skewed to the side. Scores of 6 from both judges. Katie Crown, perform a reverse 1.5 with 1.5 twist, degree of difficulty 2.6.
Scores 5 and 1/2 and 4 and 1/2.
5.5 and 4.5 from the judges. Anne-Marie Kenny from Tulane up next. This will be a back dive, 1.5 somersaults. This is in the pike position. Degree of difficulty, 2.3.
Scores 6 and 5 and 1/2.
Scores were 6 and 5.5. Nicole Stanbo, we'll see the same dive from Nicole. Back 1.5 in the pike position. Looks like a good dive from Stanbo. The scores were both 6 there. Final dive of round 4, Taylor Olhauser. Reverse 1.5 in the pike position, degree of difficulty 2.4. Good dive there, kept it close to the board. 5.5 and 6 were the scores. On to round 5, Gabby Hebert from Tulane. See the same dive here, reverse 1.5. This will actually be in the tuck position though. Had a little trouble there at the end of the board, as you saw, and that'll be a fail dive. Had trouble keeping that splash to a minimum. Both judges gave her a 5. Nicole Stanbo of SMU up next. See the same dive. Reverse 1.5 in the pike position. Quick rotation.
7 and 6 and 1/2.
Nice score, 6.5 and 7. Final dive of round 5. Taylor Olhauser. This is an inward 2 somersaults. And this is in the tuck position. It's the first time I think we'll see a diver go into the water feet first.
Scores 5 and 1/2 and 5 and 1/2.
5.5 from both judges. On to the final round of dives. Gabby Hebert from Tulane up first.
32-31D, Gabby Hebert.
This is a back 1.5 somersault with a half twist, degree of difficulty 2.1.
Scores 6 and 1/2 and 6.
A good dive there by Gabby. 6 and 6.5 the scores. Katie Crown's final dive off the 1 meter board is a forward 2.5 somersault in the pike position, degree of difficulty 2.6. Didn't really look like she got a lot of height. I would have expected to have maybe 2 of those somersaults
Absolutely.
completed above the board, yeah. Scores were 4 and 4.5. Anne-Marie Kenny's final dive. This is an inward 1.5 somersault with 1.5 twist. Highest degree of difficulty for her in her program, 2.5. Got all the way around, but not enough height to really straighten out before she got in the water. Still 5.5 on the dive, and that good degree of difficulty will give her a good score. Nicole Stambo's final dive. And this is a reverse. 1.5 somersaults with 1.5 twists. Pretty nice dive there, but a little over rotation. 6.5 and 7 know the scores. Judges rewarded her for that. Final dive of the competition. And the scores were 7 and 7.5, highest scores of the round on the final dive. Nice to see a nice, good technical dive there from Olhauser to complete the 1 meter competition. So they'll reset the pool so we can continue with the swimming portion of the event.
The 200 IM is a very unique 200 length because it becomes a sprint because it's only a 50 of each stroke, and you kind of mix your muscle groups so you don't get fatigued. It's a different kind of fatigue than a normal 200. So each 50 is a sprint.
Unlike the medley relay where it starts off in the water with the backstroke, this one starts off the box. It was fly first, then we'll see back, breast, and free. Kate McDonald, a strong breaststroker for Tulane, is in lane 4.
SMU returns 2 finalists from conference last year, while Kate McDonald was Tulane's only returning finalist. She was 5th at conference last year.
Abby Grobler in lane 3 and Janelle Gersey in lane 5 for SMU. Had the top 2 splits halfway through the race. We're into the breaststroke now. Here's where Kate McDonald from Tulane in lane 4 expects to make her move. And you see her there. Yep, go ahead.
Breaststrokers turn out to be very good IMers because this is where people start to get tired. So if you can kick it in and overcome some people, you really really turn out to be a really good IMer.
And it's also just by a little bit the slowest of the 4 main strokes, and so if you're good there, you can make up that time, and McDonald did. She had the body length lead going into the sprint, and Olivia Johnson in lane 6 for Tulane has moved into 2nd place, so good work by Tulane behind at the 100 in 1st and 2nd place. Coming into the final stretch, making a big move in lane 3 for SMU is Gabby Grosser, but she won't catch either McDonald or Johnson. McDonald with a time of 2:03.83 takes it, and Johnson with a time of 2:04.99 comes in 2nd for the Green Wave. It was Grosser in 3rd for SMU.
The IM is another area of strength for Tulane over the past couple of years, and they showed that again in this race.
That was the only 200 I really liked to swim. I was a breaststroker, and I didn't really enjoy the 200 breaststroke all that much, but I really enjoyed the 200 IM along with the 100-yard breaststroke. So.
200 IM is a very fun race to swim.
So our final, SMU is in lanes 3 and 5. Tulane, though, here's going to put 4 relay teams together and let everyone who can swim here in the final home meet of the season.
And like the 53, this is all about the little things, and as the transitions, the relay starts will be very important. Keeping them
SMU's
safe.
top team is in lane 3 out of lane 5. It is a race between lanes 3 and 4 for SMU and Tulane. There's Aaron Trahan, who came in first to the wall in lane 3 to lead SMU to the first split.
Also for Tulane in lane 8, we have Amar,
Alicia Anderson was in the pool second for SMU in lane 3, and she builds on that lead just by a little.
And in lane 2 features an all-senior relay.
That's Maureen Golba Gomez and Olivia Johnson will be the anchor leg coming up next.
It's a very fun way to end your dual meet career with a 200 free relay.
Final swimmer in lane 3 for SMU is Samantha Smith, and in lane 4 just behind her for Tulane, Sammy Morton. Really good turn there by the Mustang swimmer, Smith, in lane 3. She'll take it home. Time of 135 flat. In lane 2, Tulane came in second, 136.33, and their team in lane 6 came in third place. So Tulane hoping for the depth to help them to a win today, and they may
Absolutely, we'll have
take
to
the they may take the win here. I know the diving events were both won by SMU. We'll have to get those scores tabulated in. And
relays are very important because the individual events, so that could really be a place where you can get an advantage.
And SMU did win both relays to start and end the program.